Hello, thank you so much for purchasing a unresponsive yo-yo from Hollywood Modern Yoyos. My name is Ross. I'm the founder of Hollywood Modern Yoyos. Been yo-yoing for more than a decade, and I want to show you how to get started. I have here, this is called a station. This has everything that you will ever need to maintain your yo-yos. If you're a brand new yo-yoer, you probably don't need this. But if you're an advanced yo-yoer and you want something to maintain your yo-yos, clean your bearings, all that kind of stuff, this has everything, bearing removers, everything that you could ever need. It's all here. Anyway, let me tell you how to get your yo-yo set up. If you just got your package, you're going to have this string and your yo-yo. Now, everything that I'm going to do with this, you can do with stuff around your house. This is really just for the pros. Now, what you're going to do with the string, you're going to locate the end with the knot. That's not the end that you're going to use. You're going to move all the way to the other end. This end is going to have basically a little loop, and you're going to untwist the string. So if it's twisted this way, you're going to twist it that way so that those strands open up. And then you pull those two strands apart, and now that'll be a loop. And you can just make that loop as big as you want. I'm going to try to show this to the camera as well as I can. So these are the two strands that make up the string. You've just unwound them and made them really big. Put a hole in them. You're going to put the yo-yo through that hole. Whoop, and then apply tension and let it go onto the yo-yo like that. I'll do that for you one more time to show you how to take it off. It's sitting right there. You twist the yo-yo so that those strands unwind, and then you can take that string back off of the yo-yo. So I'll show you now how to put it back on. Since it's off, take it, open, put it on the yo-yo, and apply tension while it winds on. So now that you have the yo-yo strung onto the string, you're going to need to put a knot into the other end of the string. To do that, first you're going to measure it. I like to take my string and hold the yo-yo over here and hold this really, really tight. Notice if you take that string, you wind it a few times around your finger, and then you put the rest of your fingers in there, you'll get a nice tight grip. You can then put your knee down, and you can use that to stretch out your string. And that just keeps it from being all springy. It's really just a thing that'll happen on its own, but I like to pre-stretch my strings. And you might too, so that's how you do it. Now, to measure where to tie your knot, you're going to put the yo-yo between your feet, and then you're going to bring it up. I like to go to about my solar plexus, just kind of right in the center of my chest. This string is about already the height that I need it to be. So to tie the knot, for me, I'm going to just go to the end. But for you, wherever you feel that the knot should be, I go about my solar plexus. Some people do their belly button. That's a little bit short for me. But somewhere between those 2 points will be right for you, most likely. Now, to tie the knot, you take the string, fold it over itself, and then you tie an overhand knot in those two strands. And once you have that, you should have a loop at the end of your string. If you don't have that, then go back and rewatch that. You just take, I'll do it big. This is what it looks like if it's big. You would have that big loop. Let's say that this is where we want to tie that knot. You would take that loop, tie it around at that point, and then this is that loop that you're creating. There's your knot, and there's the two bits of string. I'm going to untie this because it's just a larger version of what I actually did, which is right there. Now, there should be a little extra bit of string at the end, and you can always trim that away really easily using a string cutter. So that can be cut away and tossed. Beautiful. Now, I think that's actually the only thing I need this for right now, except I'll demonstrate some other stuff that it does in a second. Now, you can take the that loop that you've created, and you can pass the string through that loop. That will create another loop. That other loop is a slip knot that you can put your finger into and pull, and that loop will close around your finger. I'll show you that one more time. So here's that loop that we just created with the knot. You're going to pass the string through that loop. See how that string is going through the center of the loop? That'll create a new loop, and you're going to stick your finger, your middle finger, through that new loop. You're going to put it right below the first knuckle, the very first knuckle on your finger, just that joint right there. And now you've gotten this far. You have the yo-yo with the string at the right length, tied on your finger. It's got a slip knot, and we're good to start. So here's your first thing that you're going to do. I'm going to put this aside for a second. First thing you need to do is wind up your yo-yo. To do that, you take the string and put it to the side of your yo-yo. You take your finger and put it onto that string. And now you can start to wind around. See how that works? So you're going to go and wind around until it's gotten all the way to the top. I'll show you that one more time. It's here. Put your finger on the side with the string. Start winding around with the other hand. After you're a few wraps in, you can let go with your other hand, and friction will do its magic. It'll hold everything in place, and now you've got your yo-yo. You'll notice as soon as you throw it, it doesn't come back up. That's because this is an unresponsive yo-yo, and to get it up, you need to do what I just did, which is called a bind. But before you learn that, you have to learn how to throw. And here's how you throw. To throw the yo-yo, you want to first make sure that the yo-yo is positioned correctly on your finger. Yo-yoing is so much tiny little subtle details, and this is one of them that can very easily trip you up. So, you want to make sure that when the yo-yo is in this configuration on your finger, just tight up against your finger, all wound up, that if you roll it, that it rolls off really easily. Because if I take it and I turn it 180 degrees this way, and I try to roll it, it gets all locked up. That's not how I want it. I don't want it all locked up. There are certain tricks where you do want it like this, but they're not beginner tricks. So, if you feel like it's locked up here, you don't want it like that. You want to turn the yo-yo 180 degrees. It'll tell you when it's correct because it'll just slide right off. So easy, so easy. So, you get into that configuration, and then you hold the yo-yo like you're making a muscle. I'll show you from the side. See how I'm trying to make a muscle right here? That's how you want to be holding the yo-yo. You want it in the correct configuration, ready to roll off of your hand, and then you want the hand cocked back with your arm up at a 90-degree angle, like you're making a muscle to the camera. Then you throw down and then pull up. Did you notice my hand went down and then pulled up? That's exactly what you should be doing. Now, you are probably going to get to that point and then stop and rewind it. I did a bind because I know how to do a bind, but I'm going to show you a throw one more time. So, here, throw down and pull up. Just like that. It's that simple. And you want to make sure that you put enough power into that spin so that it doesn't start tilting left and right, because that can start to happen. So, now that I've taught you that, let me show you how to do a bind. A bind looks like this. You're going to take one finger and put it in front. Then you're going to take this whole string and put it in front. And then you're going to do a little kind of subtle pinch with your non-throw hand. The hand that didn't throw the yo-yo, you're going to pinch right there. See that happening? Then you lower as you raise. You lower your non-throw hand, and you raise your throw hand. So let me show you from this angle. There's the throw. You go in front with the non-throw hand. You come around with the throw hand and bring the string into the gap of the yo-yo. If it's tilted off to the side, you can move the yo-yo just like that. Using the string, you can tilt the yo-yo left or right using your throw hand to guide it. So, once you have everything straight, everything's in the same plane, notice that the string on the back and the front, everything's in the same plane. It's all coplanar. I'll show you from the front so you can really see everything is in a perfect straight line. Because if it's out of line, then that yo-yo is going to start tipping. Do you see it tipping? And if I put it out of line this way, it's going to start tipping that way. And you can use that to correct. You can use that feature to correct. But for the time being, keep everything in the same plane. Bring that non-throw hand up, and the throw hand as close to the yo-yo as you can get it. Then pinch with your non-throw hand and lower with the non-throw hand while you raise the throw hand. Those are all the motions. I'll show you one more time, and there's one more subtlety that I want you to pick up on. So you go in front. The subtlety is this pinch. Notice that I'm not pinching the string. I'm actually pinching my fingers together. I'm just pinching my fingers together, and the string is resting on them. And because of that, I can let this go down, and as soon as that slack gets ripped away from my fingers, it'll just boop, slip right through. Because I'm not pinching the string, I'm just pinching my fingers together. And I don't want to do it until the very last second. Notice, now I'm in the perfect position for a bind. Now I'm going to pinch my fingers together and let that slack go down while I pull up, and you'll get a good bind. If you're starting to do this and you see, this happens all the time to newbies that I teach, if you see that it doesn't quite make it all the way up to your hand, I didn't really do it there. If that happens, the problem is that your throw is not hard enough. So you need to put a really strong throw down, go in front, and then do a bind. Now, there's a few other things that can catch you up before you become a true yo-yo master, and that is long-term maintenance of your yo-yos. You'll notice that the bearing in this started to sound a little bit gritty. That's because it's not a brand new bearing, and that's where cleaning your bearings comes in. To do that, you have bearing cleaning solvent right here, and that is something that you can basically take the bearing out of your yo-yo, put it in there, it'll dissolve away all the grease and grime and all that stuff. There's also pads inside of your yo-yo. So let me just give you a little bit of yo-yo anatomy for a second, because I just talked about a bearing. What even is a bearing? Here is a bearing. A bearing is kind of the beating heart of your yo-yo. This is what keeps your yo-yo spinning. It is a very precise piece of hardware that has a bunch of tiny little spheres inside, and then an inner and an outer race that those spheres roll inside of. And that turns any sliding friction into rolling friction, which is what lets your yo-yo spin for a very long time, because we all know things roll easier than they slide. And that's why a ball bearing yo-yo is always going to be better than a fixed axle yo-yo. And so these axles are not fixed, they actually spin. That's what makes these yo-yos so great. The other thing that you need to be aware of is this silicone ring inside of here. This is called a yo-yo pad, specifically a 19 millimeter slim pad. That's just the standard that everybody uses, is a 19 millimeter slim pad. Yo-Yo Factory popularized those, and they are a very popular company, and so everyone's basically adopted those as the standard. I sell the most affordable premium 19 millimeter slim pads on my website, modernyoyos.com, along with the station, which, by the way, every once in a while, a bearing might get stuck inside of a yo-yo. And to remove it, I have conveniently created, boop, this. Look at this. You just pop out a bearing like that with your bearing removal tool, and that solves another. It's just one more of the problems that this thing solves. You can see it on my website. Anyway, I want to get back to teaching you about yo-yoing because I want to show you your first trick. And the first trick that I want to teach you is called Rock the Baby. It's a very, very simple trick, just something to get you started. And what Rock the Baby looks like, first I have to give you the recap on how to put the string onto the yo-yo. All of that looks like this. Look at that, I just got a knot passively. Here's how you restring your yo-yo. Just like this. Ba-doo! Oh, I didn't even get a knot. Hooray! All right. There's the yo-yo all strung up. Here's Rock the Baby. Here's what it looks like. And to do Rock the Baby, it looks like this. First, that same throw that we've been doing over and over. Then, you're going to create this hold. Your non-throw hand, the hand that didn't do the throwing, is going to come in front, Your throw hand's going to point out its pointer finger and grab that string. This non-throw hand is going to open up to make a triangle. Then you can take the yo-yo and rock it back and forth. If you're feeling adventurous, you can turn this into Dizzy Baby by going woo, 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 just like that. And that's a very fun and easy way to impress your friends. But there's a lot more to yo-yoing than just the simple picture tricks, the rock the babies, the walk the dogs, the around the worlds. There are tricks that look extremely advanced, and they look like this. And for these tricks, you need more than just a simple introduction to yo-yoing. And I'm building out more tutorials, but in the meantime, I think that the best resources available right now are the Yotricks app, yoyotricks.com, and yoyoexpert.com, the learn section of that. They will have a lot of really good tutorials for you to learn from. They also carry my yo-yos, so you can check those out over there. And thank you again so much for buying a unresponsive yo-yo from me, and for your support and for watching this. And I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Instagram at modern yoyos. That's modern_yoyos. Or you can email me at ross@modernyoyos.com. And check out my website, modernyoyos.com. Thank you again so much. And I'll see you around. Bye!